in terms of a two-state solution. It's dead. And here's why. We tried it in Gaza. We left. We did what the international community kept telling us to do. Leave, pull out, get out, let the folks there have it. And look what happened. The extremists took over and started firing rockets at us. The good news being the Gaza Strip is down here in the desert, and about the only thing they could reach, and then they could barely reach it, was the modern city of Beersheba. Although recently they've been getting closer to Tel Aviv with some of the stuff they've been shooting in Ashkelon, for example. But the Israelis would now say, look, picture this. If we do the same thing in the West Bank that we did in the Gaza Strip, if we completely pull out, declare the entire West Bank to be Area A, 100% Palestinian autonomy, and the same thing were to happen there, that Hamas or Hezbollah or a combination of the two take over and start firing rockets from there, look at this. Yeah. We all will be in range because the place is so small that if you're right here and fire a rocket at Haifa, you're only 21 miles away. If you're here and you want to fire a rocket at Tel Aviv, you're only 11 miles away. If you're here and you want to hit Beersheba, you've only got 10 miles to cover. And then there's the whole issue of, in the absence of rockets, there are, of course, what? Suicide bombers. Thus enters the security wall, which was built officially in response to suicide bombers coming out of the West Bank into the state of Israel and blowing people up. And technically, statistically, with that construction, that activity pretty much stopped. However, again, it's the way it's been done, and some of the consequences that make it so bad. Because look at this. There's an example of how crazy the shape of it is sometimes. It would have been one thing if it would have just followed the 1948-49 perimeter of the West Bank, or certainly the 1967 borders. But what do the Israelis do? Look at these red lines. That's the wall. See these crazy incursions into the West Bank? Look at this thing. It comes way in here, it cuts that, it comes back out, way up in there, and it comes back and boxes off this little area right here, and it shoots over right here and grabs some land, and it comes here and all around East Jerusalem. It's going deep into and past the 1967 borders, and you know why? That's where a lot of the settlements are. So when they built this security wall, they made sure to get as much of their own population on their side of it as possible, even if that meant a concrete wall. There's this one hotel in Bethlehem called the Walled-Off Hotel. The Walled-Off Hotel. And I kid you not, the front facade of the hotel and the entry is like right here, and that wooden wall comes like right here. Just right in front of it, that close. And there's countless stories of that where a village and the land it farms suddenly become on two different sides of the wall, and villages cut off from each other like that. And again, there are many Israelis against the wall in general, and particularly the wall the way it was done, some of those crazy incursions I showed you here. But as with some of the stuff you see in the news, again, it's the folks with the power and the radical ideology that implement things in such a way that what could have been maybe an okay, acceptable effort to make things better ends up probably making things worse. Because with this wall, if you are a Jewish settler and happen to be on the West Bank side of it, and let's say you work in Jerusalem, you can commute to work and pass through the wall with pretty much no trouble. Matter of fact, if you're an Israeli citizen, you have one type of automobile tag. If you are a non-Israeli citizen, i.e. a Palestinian, you have a different tag on your car. And if you have that different tag, you can bet you're going to have a whole lot more trouble getting through one of those gateways, openings in the wall. What used to be a short commute from Bethlehem to Jerusalem, even to Tel Aviv, to go to work, now for some Palestinians becomes, depending on what hotshot is at the checkpoint that day, might turn into a 3 or 4 hour ordeal. The same kind of nonsense comes with accessing health care. If you need to get to a medical facility on the other side of the wall, you might be able to get there quicker, you might not. There are certain roads from the West Bank to the other side that only Israeli citizens are allowed to use. If you have one of those Palestinian tags, license plates on your car, you better not be caught on that road. Now, has that helped, again, did that help to squash and quell the suicide bombing stuff? Yeah. But my gosh, what it did to the folks who weren't doing that kind of stuff. You see how much of a mess this is? And the thing is, there have been, and continue to be, atrocities committed in both directions. So no one can really point the other and say, you're the bad guy here. There's plenty of that to go around. What do?
How does it get resolved? I mean, seriously, if you think about it, yeah, we know there's all kinds of conflict. We were talking about, the dividing lines between all of that they were drawn. That's all over the place. I mean, there's a house in Canada that's split right smack down the middle because one side's on the U.S. and the side's in Canada, just because of the property lines and the way they were drawn. So the question is, how is something like this resolved other than one person leaves, one group leaves,
Yeah.
or they just figure it out without killing each other?
I don't think, in fact, I never was really fond of, particularly for an area this small, any kind of two-state arrangement.
They should have just left it all as one state and let them work out. Religiously, they would have probably come to grips with one another. I mean, look at all the different religions we have in our country.
Yeah.
We don't go down the street here and say, okay, you guys are Baptists, you go over here, and you're
right,
right. I mean, if they would have probably just left them to their own accord, that's what they should do now. Is that they should just figure out that we're killing each other off for what reason? I'm not going to convert you, you're not going to convert me. We just need to get along,
Yeah. And again, it
become
is
one big state,
Yeah. If there is to be a solution, and Lord knows if this could ever even be implemented, and what all the details would look like, I don't know. But I think there needs to be a single. Basically, what I think is about as good a shot of a solution as any is some kind of nation arrangement, something like what we have, a nation with states therein. And here again is the part, for this to ever get done, hopes does spring eternal, but I don't know. What I would like to see, quite frankly, if I could just wave the magic wand, would be I don't even know what you call it, but some kind of a Middle Eastern nation within which there are the states of Jordan and Palestine and Israel, maybe even Lebanon, maybe even Syria.
But then you run into situations, so who's going to be the president?
Oh yes. Yeah, and how would you structure the parliament? Make sure there's equal course, you know, our founding fathers and mothers figured that stuff out. So that's what makes me think, well, maybe that could, you know, somehow be figured out. But the idea of just, you know, getting away from each other and trying to make it work that way, that's not going to solve anything. And again, that's not what most people. That's the thing of it. That's not what most of the folks there, Jewish or Muslim, Palestinian or Israeli, that's not what most of them want to do. Yeah, like I said, I know Israeli settlers there who think of Palestinians as much their brothers and sisters as anybody. I know Muslims there who are the nicest people I have ever met in my entire life, that get along with any and everybody. That's why Father Shakur, Elia Shakur, says, when he always speaks, one of the things he will always say is, he'll say, you know, if you, something to the effect, I probably won't get this quote quite right. If you want to be on the right side for a change, be on our side, that being the Palestinians. However, he very quickly firms up and clarifies, if supporting Palestinians means you become the enemies of, become the haters of, a hater of Israelis, we don't want your friendship and we don't want your support. Take it and go home. He's very clear that you can't choose sides and love one and hate the other. He won't have any. He won't have any of that. Which again is why his school has Muslim, Christian, Jews, students, administrators, faculty, all working together and doing so quite beautifully.
Okay, now I have a question.
Okay.
Biblically, is this not the land that God said is His land?
It is the promised land, the land that was promised to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Although that throws a wrinkle into the mix because you see, Muslims and Christians are also descendants of Abraham.
Okay, but, I mean, I just...
There's always going to be conflict there, though, because that's been